terror group's media outlet claims 3 of its fighters were involved in Tuesday's deadly gun and bomb attack. Security forces stand at the site of the headquarters of Libya's foreign ministry after suicide attackers hit in Tripoli, Libya. Reuters. Smoke rises from the Libyan foreign ministry building in Tripoli, Libya. YouTube. Mohammed El-Ghatani. Ambulances, paramedics, and security officers at the scene of an attack outside the Libyan foreign ministry headquarters in the capital Tripoli. AFP. Paramedics and security officers at the scene of an attack outside the Libyan foreign ministry headquarters in the capital Tripoli. AFP. A fire truck and security officers at the scene of an attack outside the Libyan foreign ministry headquarters in the capital Tripoli. AFP. Smoke rises from the site of the headquarters of Libya's foreign ministry after suicide attackers hit in Tripoli. Reuters. Firemen hose down a burning building of the headquarters of Libya's foreign ministry after suicide attackers hit in Tripoli. Reuters. At least one person was killed on December 25 as attackers stormed Libya's foreign ministry after a car bomb exploded in front of the building and a suicide bomber then struck inside, a security source said. AFP. Smoke rises from the site of the headquarters of Libya's foreign ministry after suicide attackers hit in Tripoli. Reuters. A member of security forces stands near the site of the headquarters of Libya's foreign ministry after suicide attackers hit in Tripoli, Libya. Reuters. ISIS on Wednesday claimed responsibility for a deadly gun and bomb attack on Libya's foreign ministry in Tripoli. The extremist group used its AMAQ media outlet to claim that 3 of its members carried out the attack on Tuesday. They stormed the foreign ministry headquarters after a car bomb exploded in front of the building. 2 assailants detonated their suicide vests inside the ministry and the third was killed by ministry guards, Reuters reported. At least 3 members of staff were killed and 21 others were wounded, Health Ministry spokesman Wadad Abu al-Niran said. The director of the ministry's Islamic Affairs Department Ibrahim al-Shayab was among the dead, Foreign Minister Mohammed Siala said. Mr. Siala was not injured in the attack. The foreign ministry denounced the attack, saying, "The Libyan people are waging a war on terrorism on behalf of the world." Mr. Siala used the opportunity to denounce an arms ban imposed on the Libyan military since the fall of former dictator Muammar Gaddafi in 2011. In March that year, the UN Security Council passed Resolution 1970, which bars member states from providing Libya with weapons. Terrorism will not triumph over the Libyans' decision to move forward towards building their state and renouncing violence, Ghassan Salami, the special representative of the UN Secretary-General in Libya said. We will not accept any attack on a state institution, especially one committed by a terrorist group. We will work with the Libyan people to prevent terrorist groups from turning Libya into a haven or an arena for their crimes, he said. Libyan Interior Minister Ashur Suleiman Shuail admitted there had been a security lapse, which he planned to overcome. Pictures from the scene showed flames ravaging inside of the building and 2 plumes of thick smoke wafting into the sky. Fire and rescue teams eventually brought the blaze under control, but the outside of the building was charred. The carnage from the attack and the fire which ensued means the foreign ministry will be forced to move to another headquarters. Officials have largely been unable to halt terrorist attacks, as rival governments vie for power in a political tug-of-war that has stunted attempts to stabilize and rebuild the nation that has Africa's largest proven reserves of crude oil. Libya descended into a period of chaos after uprisings in Tunisia and Egypt led to similar protests against Gaddafi in 2011. In the aftermath of Gaddafi's ousting and eventual death, 2 rival governments and parliaments emerged, one in Tripoli led by Khalifa Haftar and the other in the eastern city of Tobruk led by Fayez al-Sarraj. In 2015 a UN-backed deal was signed in Morocco creating the Government of National Accord in Tripoli, but when Mr. al-Sarraj arrived to set up the new administration, Mr. Haftar refused to recognize it. Peace talks in 2017 lead to a ceasefire and an agreement on elections. The two rival sides met again in May this year, weeks after ISIS suicide attackers killed 14 people at the country's electoral commission, and committed to holding parliamentary and presidential polls in December. ISIS was forced to withdraw from towns and cities it held in Libya but proved to have a small